We will call to order the regular city council meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we begin with roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Detterman.
Here.
Seeley.
Here.
Oberon.
Here.
Mussman.
Here.
Kearns.
Here. Councilmember Detterman.
Thank you, Your Honor. Approved minutes of regular city council and committee of the whole meetings of April 8, 2025, and they be approved as published on April 22nd, 2025. Move they be adopted as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the minutes? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Detterman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
All right, we have two proclamations. The first one, Karen Rowan from Building Safety. You're up.
Good evening, everybody. Karen Rowan, Operations Director, Building Safety Department. How are you this evening? Great, thank you. May is Building Safety Month. Theme is Game On. Each week they have a different little theme we go with, and we try and share that information with the community. Just letting everybody know that we're all about building safety, henceforth our name, Building Safety Division. Yay! So I have a proclamation I'd like to read that the mayor, I believe, is going to sign or has signed. I'll get on with it. Whereas the city of Clinton, Iowa is committed to recognizing that our growth and strength depend on the safety and essential roles our homes, building, and infrastructure play, both in everyday life and when disaster strikes. And whereas our confidence in the resilience of these buildings that make up our community is achieved through the devotion of vigilant guardians, building safety, including the Building Safety Division and Code Enforcement, fire prevention officials, code enforcement officers, architect, engineers, builders, tradespeople, design professionals, and others in the construction industry who all work year-round to ensure the safe construction of buildings. And whereas these guardians are dedicated members of the International Code Council, a nonprofit organization that brings together local, state, territorial, tribal, and federal officials who are experts in the building environment to create and implement the highest quality of code standards to protect us in the buildings where we live, learn, work, play. And whereas these modern building codes and standards include safeguards to protect the public from hazards such as ice storms, snowstorms, tornadoes, wildfires, floods, earthquakes, derechos. And whereas the Building Safety Month is sponsored by the International Code Council to remind the public about the critical roles of our community's largely unknown protectors of public safety, our code officials, who assure us of safe, sustainable, and affordable buildings that are essential to our prosperity. And where Game On is the theme for Building Safety Month 2025, encourage all of us to get involved and raise awareness about building safety on a personal, local, global scale. And whereas each year, in observance of Building Safety Month, people all over the world are asked to consider the commitment to improving building safety, resilient, and economic investment in home and in the community, and to acknowledge the essential service provided to all of us by our local, state, tribal, territorial, and federal building safety and fire prevention departments in protecting lives and property. Now, therefore, I, Scott Maddasion, Mayor of Clinton, Iowa, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2025 is Building Safety Month. Accordingly, I encourage our citizens to join us as we participate in recognizing Building Safety Month. Do you want me to read the rest, or are we okay?
I can do it. Okay. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the city of Clinton to be affixed this 22nd day of April 2025. Thank you.
Thanks, Karen.
Anyway, anybody have any questions or curiosity about it? Please reach out to our department.
What are the themes?
The themes are, week 1, the warm-up, where we're just getting started. Theme 2, build your offense. A good offense is, helps prevent, when people bring their plans into us, we want to make sure that it's going to be built right and it's done on paper, because it's cheaper to fix on paper. Unfortunately, we have to go out a lot when people build without permits and things aren't up to code. They're not done right. And we really don't want decks that act like diving board platforms, springy. We want solid construction because that actually brings up property values. Build your defense is week 3, and that's where we actually go the other route, where we have to kind of go after people that are less vigilant as we are. 4 is the starting lineup, and that's where we introduce our players, the key players. We'll be posting stuff on our Facebook page, and we have posters around the office. And week 5 is going into overtime. What's next? What's next for the world? Because, with technology and stuff, as we move forward, we're always trying to figure out, a better and safer way.
Cool.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Oberon.
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of the Clinton Tree Commission and Clinton Trees Forever, we have the Arbor Day Proclamation. That is this Friday, and also today is Earth Day, so we got a week-long stuff of things to do. Whereas in 1892, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees, and whereas the holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, lower our heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife, and whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our home, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. And whereas Clinton, Iowa has been recognized as a Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation for over 33 years and desires to continue this tree planting practices. Now therefore, Scott Maddasion, Mayor of the City of Clinton, do hereby declare Friday, April 25th, 2025 as Arbor Day in the city of Clinton, Iowa, and urges all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees. And further urge all citizens to plant and care for trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. You want to finish it?
Sure. In witness whereof I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the city of Clinton to be affixed this 22nd day of April 2025.
And just as a fourth thing on tomorrow, there will be a Iowa State University Extension and Outreach partnering with the neighborhood forest and our public library to give out some trees that have been pre-registered through the Iowa State Extension Service. In the county, there was 325 little saplings that will be donated. And then next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Trees Forever will be hosting their 33rd third grade tree planting program at all the elementary schools. The number I saw today was 344 third graders will be receiving trees. And then on May 14th, we'll be having our third tree giveaway in Clinton Park. We have 150 trees that we have purchased, 10-gallon, I think it's 10-gallon trees that we'll be giving away in May 4th. So if we want a tree, drive over there at Clinton Park, 5 o'clock.
Your Tree City sign on Mill Creek says 30 years.
That's
got-
the old one.
Yeah, we gotta
Gotta
update those.
update that, but yeah, we've been a Tree City USA for 33 years and a tree growth city for 31 of those years. Of course, we didn't grow during derecho, and I think we missed one, way early in the, so, but it's been 31 years for tree growth, and it's been 33 years for Tree City.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you, sir. All right, moving on to public hearings. We'll convene a public hearing concerning adopting the 2025-2026 fiscal year city operating budget. Have we heard anything in the clerk's office?
We have not, Your Honor.
Is there any citizens that are in the room or online that would like to address this public hearing? Doesn't look like we have anyone online. Anyone? All right. Hearing none, we will close the public hearing. Councilmember Kearns.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution adopting the fiscal year 2025 through 2026 City of Clinton operating budget. I move it be adopted as presented.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the operating budget? All right, can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Yes. Detterman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
We'll convene a public hearing concerning the proposition to authorize a loan and disbursement agreement and the issuance of notes not to exceed $1,884,000 sewer revenue capital loan notes for the planning and design of a renewable natural gas system. Have we heard anything in the clerk's office?
We have not, Your Honor.
Is there any citizens that are in the room or online that would like to address the public hearing? Any council members that would like to address the public hearing? All right, hearing none, we will close the public hearing. Councilmember Mussman.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution instituting proceedings to take additional action for the further authorization of a loan and disbursement agreement and the issuance of not to exceed $1,884,000 sewer revenue capital loan notes. I move that it be adopted as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? All right, can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Yes. Detterman.
Yes.
Seeley.
No.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
No.
Councilmember Oberon.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution approving and authorizing a form of interim loan and disbursement agreement by and between the City of Clinton and the Iowa Finance Authority, and authorizing and providing for the issuance and securing the payment of $1,884,000 sewer revenue capital loan notes anticipation project note, Series 2025 of the City of Clinton, Iowa, under the provisions of the Code of Iowa and providing for a method of payment of said note. I move this resolution be adopted as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this?
So I have a question. So after the $1.8 million is borrowed, and we get our, it's not a study, it's a plan. Is there a $20 to $25 million plant afterwards that needs to be built to convert said into biogas so that we can use it?
Yes, so this is the planning and design loan, which is covered by, as the council knows, with the sewer rates, we are obligated and have the authority, you have the authority to ensure that this is paid for. So based on that, the planning and design, which will go through the 60, 30, 60, 90, 100% design, that will come back. We'll coordinate with ADM, which we are already doing, to make sure that fits what they see as far as what type of biogas facility. And we anticipate with this loan in that facility to still be under 25. We actually have 4 different quotes he's working on that are between 20 and 24 million right now. So it could be on the lower end, but we want to make sure that we capture whatever is the best system out there today.
So after this comes a $20 to $25 million plant so that we can use the biogas here, or sell it, I guess, whichever. But where does that money come from?
Yep, same. That comes from the industrial users ADM. And right now, we're going to decide whether we go ahead with an agreement or we use rates to then pay for that.
And that's ADM rates.
Yes, only industrial rates are used for this.
So
Period. And
what
actually-
if ADM does not agree to those rates?
Well, that's what we're doing right now, and they want to do this project, so that we're working on that. So remember, the rates are gonna actually be adjusted by several things. Part of that is the federal tax credit that comes in, because it's going to lower the amount of loan most likely from 25 million to 5 million.
Right.
So my concern is if ADM doesn't like the rates that we put on them, their pocketbook is a lot deeper than ours to fight against those rates. So I'm going to just say this out loud one more time. I think we're a little ahead of the game in spending this money. So,
Any other discussion on this?
I've learned a lot this week on biogas. The mayor looped me in on a meeting he sat in, and then I also had another meeting with a professional in it. You know, I am really interested in this. I'm kind of in Rhonda's boat, but I'm not against doing
I'm not
this.
against it.
Yeah.
I'm against it right now.
I will say that when
I've learned a lot.
when I talked with ADM and those folks, there was a lot of synergies that they expressed as far as doing the projects at the same time, in regards to startup and things like that, because these they run concurrently, because the digesters already create the biogas, right? And then you either have to burn that, or you take it out of there, put it through the other facility where they clean it, is that the right word? Clean it, and then you can sell it or use it or whatever, right? So, having them run, concurrently is a positive in that. Could you wait? I think you could wait and do it separately. They seemed like, when I talked to them, that they've done this in Decatur. They know what type of waste they're gonna have, so I think they already on their radar know what type of facility it's going to take in order to do that, but.
And
this
they're
process
okay
is-
paying for it?
Yeah, and I mean, the agreement would have to be done in order to solidify that, because right now we have the agreement, and correct me if I'm wrong, we have the agreement on the taking their wastewater, we have that agreement done. The biogas agreement is not yet completed. They both, I met with ADM, I met with Allers and Cooney, who's been working on it on this side, and they all said that, we're in the back and forth stage pretty much as far as the agreement goes, but nothing's been codified officially on the biogas side of things. So,
And that's the only thing I want, is it to be codified before
Yeah.
we move forward.
When do we think that'll be done? Like a couple months or?
They told you.
Yeah.
They told the mayor.
They said within 2 months, I think is kind of what they were shooting for. But
What are
it could be
the-
sooner, it could be later, I guess,
Did
I
you-
mean, being
Okay.
fully transparent,
Okay.
No, and the big issue is, what they talked with the mayor about is, they are treating us as a toller, we're not a toller. When the waste comes to the city of Clinton, it becomes the city of Clinton's waste. When that methane is produced, it becomes RNG, it is the city of Clinton's RNG. We're working through the nitty-gritty of the agreement to understand out how that is done, because on the backside, they're gonna be hopefully the ones working the renewable identification numbers and doing that stuff. And so, it's a dance, but we're also dancing with Alliant, because we have most likely a take and pay contract with them, as well as transportation costs to inject the new renewable natural gas into the pipeline and then get it sent out to where it's gonna go. They would prefer it to go into the pipeline and be sold, that's what they prefer. I was just presented to you last council meeting, there is another option potentially. I think the best bet for a win-win for ADM in the city is that it gets in the pipeline and gets sold.
Okay.
I felt a good amount of confidence in the meetings that I sat through. First with the ADM folks and talking to them about how it all works, and then Timothy, is it
Timothy,
Timothy?
yep,
The
and Kristen.
attorney at Allers and Cooney. Any questions I asked, he was very, very direct, very exact, him and Kristen, as far as answering the questions that I had. And so was ADM, actually. Everything I asked. And that was like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good meeting. So anyway, for what it's worth, those meetings, I felt a higher level of confidence on this. If council chose to wait on this, I mean, that's fine, I guess, but I feel okay moving forward as well, so.
And as I told the mayor and I, remember, it's basically, there's still gonna be about a 12-ish month gap.
Yeah.
So right now, if all goes well, most likely, let's just say for today that January 1st, we have a flare. it most like of 2026. Most likely it'll probably be January 1st of 2027 when that flare goes down, because now the methane, instead of going through the flare, is running through the biogas plant. Okay? So there is still a gap, and that's where the mayor had actually asked a really good question, is like, we'll say the potency of that, because he had looked at a couple other cities out there that had maybe struggled, but they don't have the same type of wastewater that's coming to them as we will be with 8.1 million gallons per day of this.
I learned more on wastewater than I ever thought I would. In some of the other cities that do this, they have municipal waste is what they call it, right?
Yep.
Just regular stuff that we have our current plant. The stuff coming from ADM is a lot different than that. They also mentioned on the municipal waste, there's a lot more solids and things in it, which on the solid side of things, less gas is produced, whereas ADM's is coming in basically as a full liquid amount. And with this process, that liquid will create more gas, although it's, I think they call it D5, which is
Yep,
maybe
D5.
not the top of the line stuff, but it is a good, a good, it's good for producing this, yeah, good quality, whatever it is, so.
And,
yeah.
and not to digress too much, but I thought it was kind of neat too, when we were having the discussion, that it's a true partnership, because during the startup of the RWF expansion part, that will be combined with our folks and their folks working together. They even offered up, when we get the biogas piece going, also have some of their folks that work the biogas to be able to integrate as well. So, and they're also looking at providing the seed sludge. So if you guys remember, part of that $4 million loan in there that jumped up when V&K was here, part of that was the cost for that seed sludge. Well, we think we might be able to half that, if not more, because we're gonna be getting the seed sludge from Decatur, but they have to move it in trucks. 500 trucks per digester for that. Anyway.
All right,
Cool.
any other discussion on this?
Answered it all.
All right, can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Yes. Detterman.
Yes.
Seeley.
No.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
No.
All right, we'll convene a public hearing concerning accepting bids and awarding contract for Project B-2025 Street Reconstruction Asphalt. Have we heard anything in the clerk's office?
We have not, Your Honor.
Is there any citizens that are in the room or online that would like to address this public hearing? Any council members that would like to address the public hearing? Hearing none, we will close the public hearing. Councilmember Shemmers?
Your Honor, I have a resolution accepting bid and awarding contract for Project B-2025 Street Reconstruction Asphalt. I move this resolution be adopted as read.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Detterman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
We'll convene a public hearing concerning the proposed sale of 549 3rd Avenue South to Linda Northdorf for $5,000. Have we heard anything in the clerk's office?
We have not, Your Honor.
Is there any citizens or, that are in the room or online that would like to address this public hearing? Any council members that would like to address the public hearing? Hearing none, we will close the public hearing. Councilmember Seeley?
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing sale of 549 3rd Avenue South to Linda Northdorf for $5,000. I move this be adopted as read.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Yes. Detterman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Okay, moving into audience comments section here. I've got a couple yellow cards. Grant Wilkie, your topic is on the committee of the whole. Do you want to wait for that, or do you want to talk now? Want to wait?
Yeah, he said.
Okay, all right. Celeste Robbins.
Is there audience comments on the committee of the whole?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wait.
You want to wait till then? Okay, all right. Councilmember Seeley, can you do the consent agenda for me?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented on the attachment.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Detterman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Seeley.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll make a motion. We receive, approve, and place on file claims listings 1 and 2.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the claims listings? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Detterman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Kearns.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a resolution updating the City of Clinton's purchasing policy. I move it be adopted as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? Councilmember Seeley?
Thank you, Your Honor. So this is just making the credit card change to align with credit card policy within the purchase policy, correct?
Right.
And so what were the limits before again? They went down or up?
5,000 both?
Some went down.
Some went
it's on the
down and
next one
then
here.
the
Yeah.
department assistant chiefs and deputies.
He's bringing it up here.
Oh, thank you. Okay,
That's what, that's on the next one, what they'll change to.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can I say one thing?
yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This also, whenever we would have like a new department head, for example, like we got an HR manager, we got a community development director, I would come to the finance committee and I would ask for them to be able to get a credit card. This would establish that if they're a department director, that they would automatically qualify for one at a rate of $5,000. If Tammy had an assistant in her department and she wanted one for that assistant, it would, they would qualify for one at $2,500.
So that's basically defining the credit limit on the card itself?
Yeah.
So what is, so how are we defining the actual spending authority within the purchase policy?
So the purchase policy already has spend authority for department heads. We didn't change that. They
That
can
didn't get- yep.
sign on a purchase request or a recurring purchase up to $5,000. If it goes over $5,000, then it requires my signature. If it goes over $15,000, then it requires the city administrator's signature up to a certain amount. So that's higher up in this document. The only thing that's changed on this document to be edited for today is
Just
the credit card
yep.
limits.
Yep. I can't remember, when's the last time we updated the purchase policy as a whole?
I think we went from 40 to 50.
Yeah, how long ago was that?
It was like
Pre-COVID?
2022.
It was
Yeah, I
quite
was
a
gonna
while
say, I
ago.
was
It's a
gonna
while.
say 3 years ago.
And a
Um,
lot of times this changes because state
Yeah.
bidding type thresholds
Yep,
change too.
yep. So everything within this purchase policy, I mean, I'm asking these questions because we're literally got it in front of us. Does everything align with state requirements? There's no,
Yeah,
Okay.
we're always a lot more conservative than state requirements. Seems like every year the state requirements for horizontal and vertical infrastructure might change, but we're more conservative than they are.
okay, okay.
Does, and this is kind of a, I guess a different question, but is each card a different card number? Or is it all
Yeah.
the same account?
It's a different card number, but
Okay.
they're all on this master global account.
Okay, so
We
risk,
can track.
risk is mitigated just to that one card. If for
you can
some reason
identify it.
there was
Yeah.
fraud on that card.
We used to have that problem before, and that's why we went to the structure,
Okay.
because everybody had the same card, and if somebody's got compromised by purchasing something online, they all got shut down.
Right, okay, fair enough.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Any other discussion on the purchasing policy updates?
I'm sorry, Councilmember Kearns, this was recommended by the Finance Committee.
This was recommended by the
Okay.
Finance Committee, and I guess as long as we're in state guidelines.
Compliance, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, any other discussion? Right. Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Detterman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Detterman.
Thank you, Your Honor. A resolution approving a credit card use policy. I move that be presented, adopted as presented.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this?
Yeah, I think I messed up. So, I should have brought this up on the other one. So we have a local preference policy, and I go through the claims. I don't know if you guys
Oh,
do.
yeah, I do, yeah.
We So I just am curious how we're actually handling that, because I see what feels like is hundreds of Amazon purchases on every claim, maybe not hundreds, just a lot. And, so yeah, sorry. Are we really following that policy? Or are we going for the, I like the best bang for my dollar too, so I'm not chastising anybody.
So there is a local preference piece in the purchasing policy, but
Yep.
sometimes, sometimes you can buy something a lot cheaper and get it a lot sooner on Amazon.
Yep.
So our local preference has, I think it's 5%. Don't quote me, I might not be remembering that correctly, but it's in the policy or somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I messed up. I should have brought it up on the other one.
Up.
It's in there
Here,
somewhere.
let me do this. Hold on.
Yep.
Um,
Just type.
But on a serious note, this is a policy that we've adopted. Are we really following it? Are we actually checking local before we click the buy on Amazon? And you can't obviously speak for everybody making purchases, but so, IT, you use Amazon quite a bit. Are you guys actually, well, a lot of the stuff you probably can't get local, I take it.
Yeah, that's the job.
Okay,
I need it.
okay.
Yeah, 5%. So if there's a local source that's within a 5% of the price, we're supposed to purchase locally.
Yep.
But let's talk about copy paper.
Yep,
So we have one local business office supply store that we could purchase copy paper from. It is so much more expensive to get it from them than to get it from Amazon or even to get it from Costco. John Davis told me he goes and gets theirs at Costco.
yep.
So, everybody is price conscious on those things, and we buy a lot of copy paper.
Yeah, that's something we've talked about. We should be ordering copy paper in bulk and not all the departments buying them individually.
But,
Yep,
so that used to be
yep,
the thing back in the day, is if you were gonna buy a pallet of it, it costs less.
yep.
But-
Not anymore.
Just
Probably not.
with these places like Amazon, to be able to purchase it and have it
Next day
delivered
or
to you the next day.
Well, I
That's not
guess
the case anymore.
my question is, it was in there, I noted it, and I question, and I totally get it, but is it a policy we're even considering? Or is it one of those old written rules that's just there? You know what I mean?
Well, because there's probably gas or mileage added on top of the trip to Costco, right?
Well, yeah, that popped in my head, and I didn't want to bring that up, but you mentioned Costco, but how much did it cost to pay an employee to drive to Costco, wear
Right,
and
but
tear in a
I don't think
vehicle?
they're doing those things
Okay.
on company time.
Oh, okay, just getting it while they're
necessarily.
down there shopping, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's.
We
that's
could
nice
do
of them.
an annual look and pull
Sure.
up different
Yeah.
things that we think
Yep,
could
and
be
we-
local and just do a comparison.
And
Well,
we
the-
actually, I worked with a representative from Amazon. It's not everybody just having their own Amazon account. We have an Amazon business account.
Yep,
And
yep.
we put in those, he pulled all of our history, the account representative that I worked with, and he looked local to work with our local preference
Oh,
policy
okay.
to tell us if things are
Oh, really?
cheaper to source them locally
Okay.
or if they can get them.
Yep. And there's,
That's cool.
there's other things, when you're a small business owner, and you're trying to make a living, right?
No, I know.
So it becomes a little harder, but, I make those decisions all the time when I'm doing different projects, and, there's some things that you can't buy local, and I understand that completely, but there's other things that I purposefully buy local and spend more because I know that that business won't be there if I don't do it and everybody else quits. And really, for us as a city using, tax money, not supporting the ones paying that tax revenue that's how you end up with blighted neighborhoods and situations. So it's a fine line. I get it. I was just curious how we were trying to fulfill that obligation in the purchasing policy, so.
I can reach out. I was curious if maybe Karen might have any input on that, because you're purchasing things for the building safety division and probably the fire department. Is there anything that you've looked at that you tried to source locally versus getting it? I don't want to put you on the spot and come up with an idea. But I will reach out to the department heads and we'll get together on that and see what we are sourcing through Amazon or somewhere that's not local that we should
Yeah, there's
bring back
probably
and
most
stuff.
of it just isn't available local, and I mean, like, is Home Depot local? I mean, is Walmart local? Yes, they do have a physical presence here, but, you know, they're still a nationwide corporation, but they do pay a lot of property taxes here, so. But I know we go to Home
Citizens.
Depot a lot, I look at it, and I see we support Ace a lot, and we support Napa, so I like to see those.
We could maybe look at the top 5 things too, and then see
Yeah.
if we have somebody local, if we could have a discussion to say, can you meet this price?
Yep.
We could do that as well.
That'd be another thing too,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, like, you know, Ace and Napa are here because, you know, people support them and we want them here, right?
No,
I don't see the Amazon storefront, but maybe that's.
We go to
what's
Napa a
next,
lot.
you know? Yeah, I know, we do go to Napa a lot, so
No,
that's
I,
good.
I appreciate the dilemma.
Yeah,
that-
yeah.
I get it.
I get
So,
it.
yeah, we'll
Alright.
do a little work on that.
Cool.
Thanks, Anita.
Thanks.
All right, any other discussion on this? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Yes. Detterman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Mussman.
Thank you, and I have a resolution fixing the date for a public hearing on the proposal to adopt an amendment to the amended and reinstate agreement for private development with Riverside Development LLC, and providing for publication of notice thereof. I move that it be adopted as presented.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion on this?
So this just alleviates the.
Yes,
Okay.
it removes section 3.8.
Okay.
Perfect.
I'm still very happy with the overall outcome after the trial period, and
Yep.
I thought it came together, and I think everybody's in a good position, so
Agreed.
that's, makes things easier.
All right. Any other discussion? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Detterman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Shemmers.
Your Honor, I have a resolution of intent to accept offer from Jason Marcus in the amount of $100 and setting public hearing on the proposed sale of city-owned property at 428 11th Avenue South. I move the resolution be adopted as read.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers.
Yes.
Detterman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Detterman,
Thank you, Your Honor. I got a second consideration.
please read the title.
Where's that?
Yeah.
An ordinance to amend sections 97.026, .97.028, and 97.029 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Clinton, Iowa pertaining to sidewalks. I move that be adopted as presented.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this?
We're on sidewalks.
All right. Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Yes. Detterman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Oberon, will you do this one for me?
Certainly. I have an ordinance for the second consideration.
Please read the title.
An ordinance amending City Code Section 34.22 regarding firefighter requirements.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the ordinance?
I move the council waive the 2 prior readings requirement of Iowa Code Section 380.3 and place the ordinance on its final passage for adoption.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to waive the 2 prior reading requirement of Iowa Code Section 380.3 and place this on its final passage. That requires a 3/4 vote of the council. Can we please have roll call on that motion?
Councilmember Shemmers. Yes. Detterman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes to waive the 2 prior reading requirement of Iowa Code Section 380.3. We have the motion and the second for the ordinance itself. Is there any discussion on the ordinance? Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Shemmers. Yes. Detterman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Kearns.
Yes.
Councilmember Oberon.
Thank you, Your Honor. Move we adjourn to 5 p.m., May 13th, 2025.
Second.
We are adjourned. just give us a second to set up for the committee of the whole.